Welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus. This Dungeons & Dragons podcast may contain fantasy violence, language, and most likely a mimic or two. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's buckle up and open a back window, because it's time to start the adventure. We're going with the Night Boys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus podcast, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you will ever hear. Maybe see one day, but hear for the most part. I, of course, hopefully people don't see us. I, of course, am your DM, Calvin Piper. Without weird, awkward delays, let's go ahead and go around the table.
Okay, here we go. Hey, I'm Will. I played Glyph Coldfront Kazidi. I rolled 2 d20s and got a 9-9!
I'm Liz, and I play Ohiana, the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, my name is Preston, and I play Lucius Kane, the Azamar Warlock, a little bit off.
Hi, my name is Michelle Piper, and I play Kenneth, a.k.a. your daddy.
Gosh. Kenneth, your daddy queen?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Eremer, the Leonin Bloodhunter.
That's 1 L.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, it's actually 3 L's.
He's changed it again.
He caught all the L's ever since he went to college.
My name is Matt, the Agent, and I am TBD, the Monk.
Can we get canceled for that if he says it?
I mean,
it's fine.
It's a bit reductive, but
It's fine.
I'm Drew. I play Zeph, the Draconian Warlock, and I'm still wondering what Will's 9-9 thing was about.
It's a TV reference.
I know it was. I just don't think he
He kicked us off with the Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference, so that's why I jumped into it.
I didn't hear his.
It's okay, I love explaining jokes, my friends.
No, it's all right. Well,
What was yours? Do you want to do
we'll explain it as we kick in the intro. We'll explain it as we kick in the intro. So without further ado, let's jump into episode 5 of the Wild Magic School Bus. So, last time we were here, the group that was thrown together by Tides of Fate had just finished a under-the-table contract to locate some unseedy characters, discover why they had attacked a transportation ship, and to suss out essentially who had hired them and why. They captured successfully 2 of them, letting one go, and bringing the other to the portmaster, who was grateful, I guess, but also didn't want
Not
to be.
Not at all grateful.
I mean, it's in the eye of the beholder. Nevertheless,
Where?
oh yeah,
Ready for one of those?
Bring it.
Nevertheless, the party soon thereafter parted ways to begin work on some personal tasks, and I think, unless I'm missing something, that is where we pick up tonight. So, time is going to get a little elongated, as it were, right now. The span of about maybe 5 to 8 days, you all begin to kind of settle back into a semblance of day-to-day life, not really feeling like there's any reason to, do anything else. You got your job, you got your money. What else is there? But for some reason, unbeknownst to the rest of you, each of you begin to experience something. And we'll find out what those are collectively. Starting with Lucian.
who?
Lucius. I'll get it right.
Lucius.
Lucius.
Call me Lucy.
Oh, can we?
No.
I'm not calling anyone Lucy or Daddy in this group. Back to you, Lucian.
Who?
Sure.
Your loss.
Lucius Kane.
Yes.
You finish a day's work of helping set up some tent poles. The circus decided to stay in town to try to drum up a bit more funds. The repairs on some of the caravans took more than expected, so they needed to drum up a little bit of money to continue on the repairs. So you set up one of your smaller tents and began to do some performances every other night. Generated a little bit of a crowd, but most of them are blue-collar working folk, and so they go to bed at a decent time. So not a lot of people came for the night shows, but for what it's worth, it makes a little coin and helps out. But you're, for the most part, relegated to lifting things and moving things because you're tall, I think is probably the most apt description. One night, as you're finishing up, you kind of walk a few paces away from the hubbub and the roar of the general noise that emanates from the tents and just kind of take a seat on a small rock. The cold night air kind of blows through, the dust kind of kicking up. It's definitely not as grassy or alive as it was back home. Your thoughts begin to drift to home. To the doctor who wasn't a father figure, but as close to one as you could imagine. And to where you were and how you came to be here. It's been a crazy ride, and you're not even quite sure where it's going to end. And as you're kind of sitting there thinking, you hear a voice. Lost in thought.
Yes.
Tell me about them.
They were one of the most respectable people I ever knew. Leaving from home made me realize that a lot of people don't deserve respect nearly as much as these people. They were kind. They were ridiculed and still helping the town. They taught me a lot of things, and I'm grateful for it. I miss them a lot.
It is good to remember, lest we lose what we hold most. I remember my family. I have a gift for you, Kane. And as this is going on, there is this gray smoke kind of pooling out of the coffin and kind of forming around your feet on the ground. And as it begins to recede, you watch it begins to hit the ground and collect into gray dust ash. And it kind of piles at your feet, and after a minute, the wind kicks up again and blows the dust away. And kind of setting in the dust, something glints off the moonlight.
Hey, there's something on the ground.
Yes.
For me? I know you just said that, but I'm not used to getting gifts.
Take it.
Oh, okay.
You reach down and pick it up.
Do you remember my birthday?
Do you remember your birthday?
Is it your birthday?
I don't know when I was born, actually. So honestly, you might hit on that. I don't know.
Picking it up, you can see it's an amulet. It's a silver chain, kind of holds this palm-sized symbol in it. Symbol of two dragons. One a bright, kind of silvery, the other kind of a darker gray. Both of them are kind of encircling. Their tails are woven together, their bodies arching out and forming the top of a circle, their necks bent backwards and going in to the center, and fire emanating from their mouths begins to meet in the middle of the amulet, where suspended in the middle is a thumb-sized red gem.
Wow. Okay. This is kind of cool. What does it do? Put my eye up to it.
You can swear you almost see the red kind of reflecting against the red and making almost like this fractal, just like kaleidoscope of imagery. It's quite beautiful.
Man, this is so cool. Thanks. It doesn't even need to do anything. It's very pretty. I can stay on this forever. I put it on.
Your promise to help me, to give me what I truly need. I thank you. I cannot repay you with much, but what I have, I will give. There's just this slightest little from the gem as it flashes for a moment.
At this point I put the coffin down and I'm like, boom, and just like lands way too heavy. Ooh, I am so sorry. I am so
This is
sorry.
all right.
I was gonna go to give you a hug or something. Yeah.
You just hug the coffin.
Yeah, I hug the coffin. And I'm like, thank you so much.
I mean, that feels...
Is anyone around?
Make a perception check.
Yeah,
My
I was gonna
red
say,
eye
are there
glowing.
witnesses, please?
13 plus. We're level 3. It doesn't change anything. Right. Plus 5. 18.
18?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you so much.
It's a long pause. There.
Just feel cold, cold hand just pat me on the back.
It's probably the wind, but yeah, make it a cold hand.
Alright.
But from this moment forward, the warlock known as Cain now has a pact with the talisman.
Pact of the Talisman, that place.
Talisman.
Nanya.
So, obviously, multiple warlocks in here. It's a good teaching moment. Multiple warlocks in here. When you hit level 3, you get your pact. You can pick from a couple different options. Preston has picked Pact of the Talisman, where he now has an amulet that aids him whenever he needs it.
Oh, should
And
I
that is his-
Should I pick one?
Should you pick a pact?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you probably should. So,
Drew's gonna be
know.
perpetually level 2.
Yeah, that's just stays level 2 the entire time.
No, wait,
Just
I didn't.
just
The world's
bound
most
by
indecisive warlock.
bound by indecision. Like I don't
no,
know.
I didn't level up.
Yeah, that's.
You have 9 HP.
Is there anything else?
I think after being gifted something and being told that he's appreciated, something that he didn't know was so valuable to him, he is walking around with a new bit of confidence that is never. I'm very into himself, but now he's not swaggering around, but definitely carrying himself chest forward.
Yeah, you got that soldier boy swag.
Does it make him more or less creepy?
It makes him slightly more authoritative. So
Authoritative.
So less creepy.
So still creepy, but you have to listen to him. He's not in the corner the creepy advisor.
Yeah.
Just eyes
It's
open.
very presently creepy.
Very a lot of presence. for
Forwardly
sure.
creepy.
Yeah,
He's like the Fates from Hercules fighting over one eye.
Okay.
I am better at.
Yeah, I like that energy.
That's what I got for level 1.
100%
Better at
for that
blinking.
energy.
There you go.
I appreciate
I
that.
love those men.
Do I get a +2 to my charisma now because I can blink?
Yes.
No!
Let's go!
No. You.
Hey, what feat did you take at level 4? It's called blink.
Not the spell.
Not the spell.
Not the spell.
That's
I can
weird.
just do it now.
What if all characters had to level up to blink?
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine the dry eyes?
Amazing.
Everyone that's not a PC cannot blink.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next?
It's terrible.
All right. So that's what.
Yeah, that's
that's what you're gonna do for those few days. Okay.
Oh, a few days. I would like to see. Try to look for a mod again, but that's it.
Make a investigation check for me.
Okay. 3.
Emod is nowhere to be found.
Thank goodness.
Okay, cool.
At the end of this span of time, you are you're setting over by your tent. It's midday, you're getting a drink or something, whatever you want to be doing. As you're kind of standing there, all of a sudden you hear the sound of this like rumbling and exclamations from like the other people in the tent, other people in the camp. And you turn to see a little dome, copper dome, I guess is what you do, and it's trundling through the dust and rocks straight towards you.
Oh shit!
Just slowly, and everyone's like looking out of the tent, just like looking it up and down, looking up at you. It moves forward. It stops about 3 feet in front of you.
I dive into bomb. Boom!
You dive on top of it.
Yeah.
You land on top of
passed
it.
your Captain America test.
The top continues to turn. Sets in.
Oh. I'm like,
You stand up.
huddle over it.
As you kind of like back up from it, you watch as inside there's about 3 lights, and they go, and they turn on, and they hit this little triangular crystal in the middle, and as it does, it shoots upward and creates a projection.
Star Wars.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello?
You're my only hope.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because
That's so cool.
in reversing back in time, rewinding everything, going back. Yep.
That's really good.
Every
actually.
time.
Good job.
Happy to help.
TBD.
Oh. Ooh.
Good old Tabidi.
I have to ask the obvious question first. Did you pick a subclass?
As of 10 minutes ago, yeah.
Okay.
No, it makes sense. I meant to choose that one anyway.
Okay, what did you pick?
The 4 elements one.
Excellent. That's fine. Yeah, and we'll continue with more later, but that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
All right. What is TBD doing in this time?
I'd imagine I'm kind of hanging around these guys, especially Zeph, because he's the one
Stick
that
with Zeph.
like kind of rescued me.
Sure.
initially.
Easy enough. Easy enough to do.
Yeah. So I don't have like in this area that we're in right now. I don't have anything that I'm necessarily trying to like.
No,
find
not
or
at all.
do
Absolutely.
necessarily.
Easy enough to do. You're able to stick around them. You're provided with.
He's not only a pet, but also emergency provisions.
I don't like that.
I don't think we can call him a
I don't like
pet
it when you guys call me
technically.
pet.
Okay, last time.
You're able to. You have a place to stay. You have a roof over your head at night. But during the day is pretty much your own. You're able to go out and just kind of explore and just kind of get a lay of the land. One day, as you're kind of up on top of one of the roofs near the airship docks, you're kind of sitting and listening to the sound of like the repetitive drone of machines and tools being used on large metal and wood hulls. The quiet just kind of blowing past you as the wind kind of picks up. It's late afternoon. It's a pretty nice day. You kind of close your eyes and begin to just kind of fall back into yourself, and you find yourself falling back into a memory where you're sitting with about a dozen other young ones, all kind of sitting cross-legged, sitting in front of the master, who's kind of instructing you all and kind of teaching you all, and they're you can hear them in their lesson. Remember, the key, the energy that flows in and through all of you, will manifest itself. In some, to give you strength beyond that of mortal men. For others, it will bind you to the shadows and make you a living phantom. And for others, well, yes, you'll have to wait and find out. The key is not to anticipate what it will be or how it will manifest. The key is to let it flow through you, to allow the changes to come as they may. Who knows? The energy of ki living in each and every one of you is unique, just as every one of you, each and every one of you, are unique. Mind that well, young ones, and one day you will all be great members of our order. And I kind of bow, and everyone bows.
Buddy Sensei.
And you kind of open your eyes again, and it's at this point you just begin to feel the noise has died away. But something stayed. The heat from the sun is now prickling against your skin. You can feel it almost like it's coursing through your body, not just on top of it. The wind is kind of blowing against your hair, and you can feel it blowing around you, but also almost through you now. The sweat from the hot day is kind of dripping down your face. But it's no longer on you, but now a part of you. And the earth beneath your feet, the sound of the world around you becomes a vibration that you can now feel as well as touch almost. And as you're kind of in this moment beginning to feel just all of these elements kind of coursing around you, there's a flash of pain. You have to look down at your hand. It hasn't burned this much in a while. And close your fist, trying to ward off the pain like the master instructed. But you have a feeling over the next few days you've got some more meditation to do. I think you're on the brink of something. You are now a monk of the four elements.
Nice.
Badass.
Is there anything else TBD would do in this time?
Other than tag along to some of the stuff they're doing, like
Sure.
I said before,
Yeah.
probably
Gonna be fun.
just practicing some of my strikes and practicing those
Absolutely.
things. So
Channeling
I would
your
assume
ki.
it's kind of like an Ip Man thing where he has like that wooden thing where he's trying
Yeah,
to like.
absolutely. Easy enough to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Next victim.
Kenneth,
Yep.
And
the days after that, the days after the boat incident and the bandits and the trappers and all that stuff go by relatively smoothly. You quickly find Orwell, who, once you find him, you kind of explain to him all that happened and tell him about it, and he seems very interested. Then one night, as you guys are having dinner and you're repeating one of your stories, Orwell kind of sets his mug down. Well, seems to me like you have learned a lot. Instructions have paid off.
Sure did, yep.
Tell me, as he kind of leans back in his chair. What is it you want to do now?
Well, I think I'd like to keep doing what I'm doing. Maybe keep learning a little bit more from you. I mean, monsters seem like they pay pretty well.
I do.
I guess more of that. That's what we're needing, right?
Kenneth, I'm impressed. I know you talk about how your aunt and I have taught you much, but there are times where I feel even I learn a thing or two from you.
Shucks.
I know you want to take care of your family. To live each day with courage. And take pride in what you do. These are all good attributes. Keep them close.
I'll try my best.
I know you will. Which is why I brought you here. And he kind of sets a small scroll on the table. Nods to it.
I'll unwrap it. I'll take a look.
It's a contract.
Do I have to read the terms and conditions?
Maybe just read the name. And he kind of gestures to the bottom of the page. You read the name at the bottom for who the contract is made out to. Satan. Kenneth Quinn.
Well, damn.
This is your first monster contract.
You a monster hunter.
Do well on this, and you will earn the title of Monster Slayer.
We get to go fight monsters.
I'll try my best. I will.
I know. He takes a drink of his thing. Get some rest. You have an early morning tomorrow. He stands up and...
Got anything I could study in the meantime? You just tapped your brain right there.
He hands you Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the morning. Turns around and goes up the stairs. Do you sleep at all that night?
I imagine I'm pretty giddy. Also, I'm thinking, like, I'm maybe trying to...
Rebrand?
No. No, like...
What do painters have to do?
I'm trying to look out at, like, people in the streets and try to, like, hone my skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just by looking at individuals walking by to see, like, does that one walk with a limp? I wonder why, like, where does that source come from? Is it a hip? Or is it a knee kind of thing? Like, I don't know, inspecting and, like, watching body language.
Okay. Good to know.
I will try to get a little bit of sleep.
The morning comes not as restful as it usually is, but with Uncle Orwell in a, as he calls it, observing position, you set out for the fields of the Brasslands. Takes you guys about 3 to 4 hours of walking to where you get to any semblance of a place that is noted on the contract. This is your first monster hunt. So, we're not going to role play this entire monster hunt because I don't want to take up too much time and we got more stuff to get to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you this. You can roll a d20. Or
High variant?
you can roll high variant d20.
Why not both?
Do it.
High variant, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, you have to, right?
You have to.
You have to. On the high
you
variant.
have
If you
three-
don't take him up on every
all
offer,
three
he
colors
stops
coming down to you?
offering.
Don't touch it, don't touch it, don't... No, you can touch the box, just don't touch
I'm a
the
gold
dice.
gal.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
I'm scared.
You're doing great.
You got this.
Everybody's hovering their trays by me.
The tree's not flat!
No.
It's not flat, it's gonna cock!
Okay. Which one? I'm scared. Okay.
Yes.
No, it's happening.
For the audio.
17.
Nice.
There you go. Very nice.
You did it.
You are instructed
21. No, I'm kidding.
for a total of 20... No.
21.
Thank you very much.
Dang it, Crandon.
You are tasked with hunting a lion. And successfully...
She kills Will.
successfully, you take it down.
Picking flowers.
Make a new character.
Oh, that's sick.
You bring it back to camp. Uncle Orwell nods as you come back in. Yeah. I see you didn't need my help.
I mean, I guess not.
He's still talking, save.
Good job.
Thank you.
And as he's talking, he's kind of working on something. He finishes it up and goes over to the lion, messes with it for a second, comes back.
If you
brings-
look right there, you can see where I got him.
I see.
That's not bad, right? That's
It's a
pretty
good shot. He walks over to you and hands you a silver chain with the tooth on it.
sick. I was gonna ask for that anyway, so I'm glad that you went ahead and did that.
You are Slayer now. Wear it with pride.
That's a pretty sick keychain.
It is
No rabbits for
a
it.
dependent, but it's fine.
That's a pretty sick
There you go.
Pandant.
All right, let's clean this up and get our gold for this. And as you guys finish that up, you bring it back to town. You are paid in full, contract complete. As you're heading back to the tavern or the inn that you guys have been staying at, you can see, like, you can hear some commotion from the inside of it. And as you guys kind of step in, you can see people are like moving to the sides of the stairs that go up to the top, and somebody is like falling down the stairs.
Hey man, the
And they hit
quickest
the
way
ground.
to get down the stairs is to fall.
And as he like puts his head up, it's immediately flattened again by this little copper dome that like rolls over its head and like rolls and stops 3 feet in front of you.
Smush his head?
It's fine. He's like, oh god, like he
Oh,
just
okay,
gets
so it's
flattened.
fine. He's an NPC.
It's an NPC.
Like, oh, wow,
He's
okay,
not
I'll
like
make
crushed.
that.
He's not crushed to death. He just got
Just
run over
imagine
by
BB-8 just rolling over you, you know?
What's the name of
BB-8 that weighs 700
the
pounds.
guy that we really like?
like a slightly larger Roomba.
Like Seth or something?
Oh, okay.
But it's dome shaped, not flat. It rolls over you, stops 3 feet in front of you.
Civ. I miss him.
Me too.
A projection appears in front of you.
Okay.
That's right.
Going back in time. We move to the next character.
You do the Ace Ventura thing where you say that all backwards.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Whoa.
Let's see that in slow motion. I love when he does that where he like says it again. And, yeah, that's great.
That's what you slipped in. That's what was on your shoe.
Zeph.
This guy.
Right. Do your worst.
What are you doing in these few days?
Well,
Other than your job, obviously.
Babysitting.
no.
Guarding the door.
Well, actually, I'm not going to say it with this voice. This hurts.
Well, we've actually found out that
Swing.
we've actually found out that the door is fine. Mm-hmm. It's being guarded.
Okay, excellent.
It can guard itself weirdly. Some doors just stay locked.
Yeah,
That's strange.
And we are. I think it's those two guys, the two city guards that we sent over there. They just stayed,
Still.
and like nobody.
It was their calling in life was
Yeah.
side
Is
doors
that it?
exclusively.
No, that's not what.
No, they're gone.
Okay, but anyway, the powers that be feel that, or what's her name? Scratch.
Scratch, yeah, Sergeant Scratch.
Sergeant Scratch has decided that we can have like some time off, so we have a few days of respite.
Yeah, I believe their words were, "Yes, please, don't ever don't bother me for a few days."
Right, basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We asked for some time off, and they
yeah.
said, "Please don't ever speak to me again."
Yeah, we're like, are you sure? Like, what are you gonna be? Who's gonna guard the doors?
And it's
I'm
taken
sure
care
I'll
of.
figure it out.
Yeah.
So we're hanging with our new friend, Beatty, and we want to take in the circus. Now that we found out that the circus is actually going to perform.
Absolutely.
What's it like there? What's our show like?
Oh goodness. So it is. It's not a 3-ring. It's just a 1-ring circus. But it is. It was phenomenal. There were these tieflings with these like long hair, with these long like strips of like cloth tied to their horns, and they did these like acrobatics, but they didn't use their hands. So their horns were like spinning them. They're spinning around like their horns are keeping them up. It's crazy.
I like it.
There was one. There was a magician, looks like maybe like a halfling or a gnomish gentleman who did all kinds of magic tricks, produced beautiful lights, conjured animals out of thin air
What was
for
his
some
name?
reason. The
Drew Carey.
no the I blanked on the name. I blanked on what he's called. The magician that runs with Ohiana's circus is called Bumjeek's Bumbox.
Bumjeek's Bumbox.
Bumjeeks.
Bumjeek's Bumbox.
Bumjeeks. Bumbox.
That happens.
Bum cheeks.
When Christians get married, that you can do.
Bumjeeks. Bumbox. We just bumming everything until we figure it out.
But he calls himself the Great Bumbox, is what he calls himself.
What's his voice like?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a gnome. He's a little.
What? So
gnome.
gnomes have to be like okay?
Yes.
Gnomes have to be a high pitch and obnoxious.
I am the Great Bumbox!
It's like that.
That's what he would sound like if he didn't use prestidigitation every night.
Yeah.
Much like the Dumbledore wand, he can just his voice is very like booming and like Let's Get Rid of Rumble guy
This is
sound.
like the NBA Jam voice.
Yes. But when he's
heating
not,
up.
yeah, that's what he sounds like at night. But like, just when he's like, when people go to shake his hand, he's just like, thank you very much.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
Bubji's a great guy. Yeah, so he did some magic. There was some trapeze work by some air genasi, which is beautiful because like these colored winds or air kind of like flowed by, almost like when jets have like the contrails that are like colored. Same kind of a thing with the air genasi. It was beautiful. There was and the show itself wasn't the only thing. Before and after the show, there's all kinds of... You can't drink my tea. There's all kinds of... Trying to drink my tea. Stop it.
There is a
For the
bunny.
record, that's a rabbit.
In case anyone's wondering, there's a rabbit trying to drink my tea right now. So...
Too thick.
Before and after the show, there was all kinds of like small side shows and all kinds of great things that are happening before the main stage happens. It's beautiful.
What do Preston and Mrs. characters do?
So, I almost called you Lucius Kane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
Lucius Kane is part of a menagerie of like sideshow characters. So like the bearded lady, the albino dragonborn, the tall dark
Coffin box,
the
pasty
coffin
man.
boy, coffin boy, or
Coffin
whatever.
box pasty man.
Yeah, whatever they're called. They can come up with their own names, but they're like a menagerie of just like strange, intricate, exotic people.
Cool.
She hangs out with
Can I do something?
Sure,
Just
absolutely.
what I got.
Yes.
You see me climb on walls.
Spider climb.
Yeah. I was like, this is
Yeah.
like I'm creepy. I'm
Absolutely.
like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Do all warlocks have to have spider climb?
I think so. I think it's required.
I have spider. That's
I
what
had
I
spider
chose
climb
too.
once and I used it once and I was like, this isn't useful for any other scenario, so I got rid of it.
Bro, it is useful for a lot of scenarios.
In a circus?
You just gotta have the right mind.
But yeah,
gotta
it's a lot of fun.
Agnosis wasn't
Okiana
utility.
does
Stand-up comedy.
No, she does illustrated storytelling.
she tells stories, but in a very like it draws you into the point where it's you almost feel like you yourself are the characters. It's very very well done. Very well done. One night as you are hanging out at the barracks, TBD is sleeping soundly in the bunk above you. Glyph is
It's a room full of 20 bunks.
Glyph is
All
Glyph is not there tonight. He's busy working on something, as we'll get to in a moment.
Whoa.
Doing it. Getting stuff done.
You are beginning to fall asleep, but as you are, you're kind of like leaned, almost like in a reclined position, and as your eyes are closing, your eyes are just kind of scanning over all the runes that are drawn onto your skin. There's this moment where you close your eyes and wake up again. You know you're dreaming because this isn't real, but it's a memory, a dream of you're back in the laboratory. And you're the only one there right now because everyone else is busy doing stuff, but give me a second. Emeraldi is there as well. And they're sitting there kind of furiously writing down some stuff before leaning back. Yeah. What do you think, Ziff?
I like them.
You do?
Yeah, they're great.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Do they work?
See for yourself.
Zeph.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Nope.
What'd you roll?
5.
You kind of sit there and concentrate, looking at these runes in your arms. They flash for a moment, but nothing happens. No.
So I guess they don't work.
Emeraldi comes over and sits down in front of you.
Listen, Zeph. It is not. Do it. It comes from your mind. You think it, yes. You think what you want. Just like, and he kind of like looks you in the eye and he goes, just like when you think your feelings, yes. Yeah, I make pictures.
You make the pictures.
Make the pictures with your mind. Then,
Same process?
exactly the same. Try again.
Alright.
You have inspiration.
You have advantage.
Okay.
You also have inspiration.
You do have that inspiration. You can roll again if you want.
Oh. Ooh. Sweet.
What would that be?
So that's a 15. 15.
15? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do?
I think, let's see, what would he be trying to do in that first instance?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
What weapon would you conjure?
Okay, so weapon.
Sure.
I think just a pair of daggers. He would just summon.
You
a
watch
dagger in each
as the runes appear and the scales that they're written on begin to slowly shift up your arm, twisting and turning in patterns before appearing in your hands 2 daggers.
Nice!
Glowing in runes and made of dragon scale.
Like a sexier Legolas.
I love it. This is great.
Emerald just kind of sits back.
It works. This is good. Yes, it's good.
And slaps you on the
Wait a
back.
minute, that was a trial run?
Yes, all of this is a try. It is good, Zeph. This is good. We are making progress, yes.
Yeah.
One day they will learn.
Yeah, we'll show him.
We will.
Gonna have to tell me what we're gonna show him at some point.
One day, my comrade. One day we will show them. Now, on to the next project. Yes, come.
And you kind of wake up from that dream. And you look down at your hands. And you watch as 2 daggers slowly begin to recede back into your arms.
Sick!
You have now become Pact of the Blade.
But you summon them with your hands on the top bunk and you've just killed 2.
And I need you to roll damage because he's probably dead.
TBD.
There's no way that Zeph could even put a scratch on TBD.
That's fair. No, you're
proven that TBD is the superior.
I'm just going to start pronouncing it Tabidi and say that's his name.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it just becomes his name is Tabidi.
Wow.
It would make
Anything else
sense.
to call you, just going to
yeah.
call you Tabidi.
That would be funny. Okay.
It's happening, so
Do we want
that's fine.
2 things? Have we described Emeraldi for the people listening? Do they know what he looks like?
Or we're going to keep it.
Do you want me to describe what it looks like?
Physically describe him, yeah.
So, mountain of a man. Dark skin, almost brown, like olive brown in nature. He had long white hair that always was kind of pulled back and like tight against his head. A cap kind of kept it all in place, a little like metal cap that kept it back there. Wide-shouldered man, large, kind of like meaty hands. Not very tall though. He's average height. This big old bushy kind of white beard, always kept like locked with a small kind of like metal, almost like gauntlet that kind of kept it in place, kind of like a don't know what to call it. A bracer, kind of like, because it was long, it almost went down to his belly, but he kept it all tied up here, so it like locked just under his jaw. Piercing green eyes, the deepest green you've ever seen. Always had a reason to laugh. Always had a reason to crack a joke or crack a smile, and absolutely adored what he did with you all.
Yeah, that sounds right. Cool. The other
A little bit of a belly. There's a little bit, but it was mostly, like I said, he wore the apron most of the time, and so it was. But he was, yeah.
And do you want to describe the function of the blades, or are we gonna leave that?
So essentially, Pact of the Blade means that you can summon your Eldritch weapon. The wording says you can summon any weapon you choose every time you summon it. So given that, your weapon becomes a runic scaled whatever you conjure it as. So the runes on your arms supply the material, and the weapon becomes a part of you. It's not going to be purely made of scale. Depending on the weapon, sometimes other parts of it will be made of psychic energy because you are a psychic warlock. But for the most part, imagine because you are burnished brass, I believe. So think of like burnished brass parts to weapons, depending on whatever weapon it is.
Sweet.
So there you go.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hey, Tabidi, check this out.
What do you summon?
Nothing. I'm kidding.
You can summon whatever you want.
Still asleep. He's still asleep.
Still asleep.
Yeah, I just like summon a fork? 2 forks. Just like, I just pop up.
Bing, bing. They appear.
Dingle flippers?
What do you think?
Not a fork, not a spoon, but something else. A fapoon.
Oh, never mind. Go back to sleep.
When you wake up in the morning, you hear this
Spy.
At the door?
at the door.
Do you want a rap? Do you want a rap sound?
No, it's like a thud.
Okay.
I didn't want to do like a knock. It's like a thudding noise.
Oh, okay.
Do you open the door?
Tabidi, get that, would you?
Okay. So I hop down from the top bunk, but rather than slamming down really hard, I kind of slowly hit the ground. Yep.
Air kind of buffets you as
Not
you
even
hit the ground.
irresponsible
Yep.
airbender.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then I go and I open the door.
Open the door. There is a tiny little brass dome setting just outside the door.
Outside it?
A projection appears in front of the two of you. We'll get back to it. Glyph,
Right, yep, here we go.
you are going about your duties, just patrolling the roads. You have a few days off, but justice never sleeps. I mean, at least it's what people say.
Snoozes, but
Snoozes. Takes a couple naps.
Yeah.
Justice just took a quick nap in the sun and is now back to walking across the streets. Yep. You see a couple of small kind of rodent-like creatures kind of scurrying away from an alley as you walk by, and you hear the sound of something.
Smoker. Yep. I know how to deal with him. I prepare around the corner and chastise.
You see on the ground, beaten to basically a little tiny dragon pulp, is a kobold. His kind of gray scales are kind of
Chastise that.
his gray scales have kind of turned a purplish color from the bruising underneath, and there's like a giant scar across, like from the neck down from like something attacking it, and one of the hands is like kind of nubbed at this point from being chewed off. But you immediately recognize it.
Yep.
It's Pothole.
It's friggin' Pothole. I run over and I stabilize him, give him a little cure wounds just to prevent him from absolutely dying right here on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I just ask him, like, hey mate, what's going on?
It's
Glyph. Pleasure to see you, mate. Well, the life of the underground kobold is not great. Got in a little bit of trouble, as you can see. Been beat up. Probably should retire at this point, right?
I mean,
You know how it goes.
it's not really much retirement in this job, but you should probably take a couple of days and snooze.
I'm done, mate. Done scurrying underground. Done trying to find, the next question, the next thing. You know how many times I tried to find illicit affairs from the higher-ups?
It happened. Listen, there was one lady and she asked you 3 times.
Well, she was very persistent about it, so I tried to, figure it out. Didn't work very well.
That's fine.
Got
Sorry,
me.
got beat up.
Well, among other things, but, you know. I appreciate you trying to save me, but I don't think there's much left of me saving, mate. You'd probably just leave me here to get chewed up by the rats.
Like, I have like a moment in my head where Tom kind of stops. I'm like, alright, well, I could let my friend die here on the side of the road and give him a proper lizard burial where I just, set him on fire and leave him on a rock. Or, I mean, I don't know, like, a few thoughts running through my head of, seeing some mech stuff lately. A few things going on.
As you're thinking about this, when he says you might as well just leave me here, there's a moment where you have a flashback to where you're standing in a mining town. A couple of your siblings are off doing something, and you and Emeraldi are standing in the town looking down, and there's a beaten up lizard folk got robbed, got mugged, and just bloody and bruised, probably close to death. And you're saying the same thing. It's like, probably just leaving me. And you see Emeraldi just kind of shake their head.
No. You see, Glyph,
And he kind of puts a giant arm on your shoulder.
everyone is worth saving. Everyone. From the biggest to the smallest.
And he kind of reaches down and picks up the smaller lizard folk. They're smaller than you, but very thin, and just kind of some of the scales are starting to fall off.
We will help them. That is our job, yes? We protect, we help.
Yeah, I guess so.
Good.
And he puts an arm on your shoulder again.
And you will help me. Come.
And you spend the next few days helping rehabilitate this creature, helping Emeraldi create and design some ways to help keep them alive and stabilize them. There was a moment where he had talked about, preserving them in some other form, but decided it was too risky, and all of a sudden the light bulb goes off in your head and you're, wait a minute.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, no, mate, you're not going to die. Instead, you're going to be with me. You're going to be above ground forever. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to go pick him up. And I also...
Gentle Mike.
Yep, super ginger, because that's, I'm going to take him back to the warehouse, and as we're walking back, I'm like, you may have thought you were all alone, and you say, Glyph, all those times where there was just one pair of feet in the sand, why'd you leave me alone? And I say, mate, no, all those times, mate, that's when I carried you. I just take him back to the warehouse.
That was smoking beautiful, mate.
Yep. Copyright. So, I'm going to take him back to the warehouse we were at a little bit ago, because I know there's a lot of stuff there, and I might be able to hodgepodge or assemble, given this fresh revitalization of knowledge, do something for my mate, and I'm going to spend the whole time down there building something.
Now, you know that the hideout that was down there, completely devoid of anything, the trappers made sure of that, made quick work. There is nothing down there.
So much.
But the warehouse above does seem to have some materials and things. And it takes you a little bit of time. You expand a little bit. You kind of go to other places to get stuff. You don't go to the upcycler. There's nothing there that will be useful to you at all.
What with egg cartons?
So many egg cartons.
Weird. But you do go ahead and roll a... Go and make a D20 check using your intelligence and your proficiency for me.
Okie dokie.
Sorry.
No, 15? Although I do have the inspiration from I don't know what.
You got inspiration from the one shot. I'll let you use it. Why not?
Okay, why not? That was worse. So,
15.
Yeah.
No, 15 is good. 15 is what you needed.
Okay, cool.
Same with his.
Yes.
You spend about 4 days working tirelessly, day and night, and finally it is done. So, do you want to go ahead and explain what it is they see standing before them?
I've got chills.
So basically, I've chosen the Battlesmith archetype, and what I've built is known as a Steel Defender, and what you see is it's roughly about 5 feet tall, but it's more or less a Bacta tank. So picture a rectangle with arms and legs, and inside of this rectangle there is a stabilized and conscious, awake pothole. And
is he happy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's never known such a good life.
Yeah. No. So he's fully above ground now, and communication-wise, every once in a while you'll see like he's got a little something like on his throat that lights up, similar to our glyphs, and there's one on my throat as well on the side of it. So that's how he and I communicate. And so now he is just one of us. He is my steel defender.
That
So hold on. So
that is so sick.
Battlesmith, you created a cyborg.
Yes, I mean,
Yes.
picture essentially something
Can you
very
go
much
in-
like this.
So is there room for you in there? Can
No,
you-
no, no. It's literally like just
He drives
bigger
it.
than him.
It's
him.
your
It's
hunkulus
him.
servant.
It's more or less my homunculus servant, except it's so the tank itself is
Oh, that's a
literally.
good way to bypass automaton laws. Good job.
Yeah, well, that's the thought.
not
Is
an
like no,
automaton.
yeah. If they're like, oh, that's an automaton. Like, no, no, no. He's right there, and then he makes his bubbles, and he's like, no, no, I exist. So it's like this is the only way I could save my friend
How do we
was to
feed
put him in. I got it. Once a day, just a few in the top, and he just swims right up to it. Yeah, I can't forget, or else he gets pissed and won't really want
Is
to
it like,
protect you.
is that a nutrient bath he's actually inside of?
More, just something more or less, because cure wounds, I like to think in this context, only stabilized him. It couldn't like regenerate him, as it were.
Also, the trappers are on your ass for using cure
Yeah,
wounds.
bunch of bitches. Sorry, PG-13. But yeah, so like I found a way to kind of almost imbibe cure wounds into some sort of solution.
Yeah.
So that's what he like lives in,
Nice.
because he can't live. You know, he would have died on the outside, and he's never seen the above ground world. So it's like, nope. Your last few years, you're gonna walk with us and do whatever.
Yes.
And he's got a big shield on his back because his AC is 15, and I sometimes use him as a barricade.
I love it.
But yeah, so you bring him out after the work is done, and he's following along with you, and basically. So if anybody were to listen, what they would hear is just almost the sound of a water cooler, just like
It's like that one.
knocks my mic over. I caught it before it fell.
Goldfish in the head.
If there was a sound, I
Similar
apologize.
to yeah.
Or
But yeah.
Futurama or what?
Just like, but what's funny is that he seems to understand it just fine. But yeah, so everyone just hears like a water cooler sound. But basically, what Pono tells you at the end of this is like,
Mate, you don't understand. This has been. It's like a dream come true. I was left for dead, and you gave me a second chance.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like not to use a slur, as it were, but us lizards, we kind of got to stick together. So, you, me, Zeph, and
right.
our new son, Tabidi, we're going to see what we can do.
You're right. I swear, with all that's left in me and this weird mechanical body you've given me, I will protect you.
I appreciate
And Tahiti.
it. Nailed it. All the way there and back.
Tahiti. Or Tahiti.
but as you guys are heading back one morning after going out and kind of like testing out all this stuff to make sure everything's working and everything's good to go, and you're kind of getting the nuances down of the Steel Defender, you can see rolling towards you guys is this tiny little dome, kind of like just across the cobblestone, just like bumping, and it stops about 3 feet in front of you, and immediately Pothole kind of stands in front of it, puts his arms up.
Yeah, we do like the SWAT team style, where like I have a hand on the shoulder
Yep,
and the
he's-
rifle above,
yep.
and he's in front of
Nice.
me, shielding.
just ready to go. It stops about 3 feet in front of you guys.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch. Okay, and I just like,
As you
walk
step around, and a projection appears.
Okay, cool.
Turret comes up.
Thought it was a bomb.
Explodes. You feel
Oh, yeah. Do you do anything in this time that is of import?
Or export.
No, I think she mostly hangs out around the circus.
Okay.
Doing performances, honing her skills, etc.
After one night of work, everyone's kind of closing up for the night and everything. Dimitri is thanking some patrons for stopping by and kind of walks up to you as you're kind of rolling up some stuff and kind of taps you on the shoulder and says, "It was good tonight. Come find me in my tent when you're done." And they go head off. You spend a couple more minutes wrapping everything up, and you head over to their tent. Open the flap. No one else in here, just him. And he's sitting over by one of the tables, pouring some drinks. you like something?
No,
All this time we've been looking for a
I'm
list
alright,
of
but
fingers.
thank you though.
Anyway, they take their drink and go sit down on their large kind of chair. I'm going to tell you something. Something I wasn't sure I was ready to say. But I feel like I am now. You have done well. You have improved far beyond any of my associates in all my years of this circus. But I also see something else. I see the spark of greatness. Spark of adventure. But I am no fool. I see a spark of wanderlust as well. You're going to do great things. And as much as I hate admitting it, you're probably going to do some of those great things out from under my shadow. I want you to know you are always welcomed here in our tents. But we understand if these sparks call you elsewhere.
Thank you.
And a bit of advice. You are very good at picking up the whispers. Use that.
Absolutely.
We're only as good as the leverage we have in this world. But you have always been like a younger sibling to me. You will always be welcome. He kind of raises his glass to you. Takes a sip. Make a perception check for me.
That's a dirty 20.
Best roll of us all.
Certified Liz.
In all the years
7 days a week.
in all the years of traveling with this Genasi, you've never seen them cry. Until this moment. Not sad. But accepting. He knows he can't keep you as his storyteller forever. You head to bed that night thinking about all that he said, all of his advice. We won't continue to roleplay it, but you before you head to bed, you guys spend a few more hours just kind of talking, drinking, and just listening as he imparts as much of his world, his knowledge as he can to you. And you leave feeling, not a sense of finality, but a sense of release, should, as he said, the sparks ever draw you away. But Ohiana goes to bed that night, graduating from the College of Whispers.
Nice.
Oh.
We're gonna get along. We're gonna be creepy as hell together.
You wake up the following morning, and as you kind of step outside your tent and stretch, you hear the sound of people shouting, and you hear Lucius shout, "It's a bomb!" And then after a moment goes, "Never mind." And then about 15 seconds later, you hear the sound of, and you see this little tiny little dome roll up to you and stop. What you all see simultaneously in these moments is a Leonin. A Romir. Who instructs all of you to meet them at a certain inn near the center of town later that day. Do you all accept?
Yeah.
No.
I'm
No.
Yes,
I'm
please.
done.
I will gladly.
Okay.
Tired of carrying boxes. Besides the coffin. I love that one.
You're all called to meet at a inn/tavern known as the Tilted Tankard.
Tilted Tankard. I like that one.
It's a party tavern.
Clearly.
We're getting tilted.
It's hard to hear what he says because there's so many bachelorette parties going on, but I'm sure it's great.
But you all make it later that afternoon/evening to the Tilted Tankard. A vast, this is the largest inn establishment you guys have ever seen. About 4 stories tall. The first 2 stories is all the open floor of this tavern. There are, at any time, 30, 40 people all kind of milling about, having drinks, playing games, conversating. You all kind of step in. It's just past afternoon, so the morning rush of people has left. The day drinkers have yet to arrive, and the night shift is still several hours off. But you all kind of make your way inside, and one by one individually, and begin to notice the other individuals that you've kind of clashed with the last couple days, all seeming to show up at the same time. But you all begin to gather and take seats at a table that is currently occupied by one black and gray. Is it black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, black and
It's
gray
like-
with the turning to gray. Yeah,
Well, black hair turning to white.
turning to white. Sorry, black and white. The black and white Leonin known as Eromir.
I see Kenneth and I
Yeah.
go over and give him a hug.
Out of
I
game
said,
question.
hell yeah, buddy, you've been blinking, haven't you? Your eyes look a little better.
They are as vibrant as ever.
Great job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, no problem.
Keep it up.
Will would
Yeah.
like to know how Kenneth reacts to seeing a lion.
Yeah, what, like,
I will casually tuck that little,
Is that
Lion's
my
tooth
dad's
away.
tooth on your neck?
I don't know much about their kind. I don't know if they're descendant. That's a thing. Who
Yeah, right,
did what with who to
Right,
get them
yeah.
there?
That's
I don't.
fair. That's fair.
Anything
Someone
got
was
blessed by God
adventurous.
have their likeness.
Yep.
maybe
Glyph, Zeph.
somebody's like-
Actually, I probably came straight from work, and I hadn't really told Zeph and Tabidi what I was working on, so they might not have seen old pothole since he got dunked, as it were.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone walks in, and you all can see following behind Glyph is this tiny. What coloration is his metals?
I'll do anything else.
I would say so. I think.
It would be basic for now if you wanted to. You can.
Yeah. I mean, it's because it's first iteration, so it literally is just steel.
Yeah.
You know, the
Various dark gray.
Yeah, the only
steel.
color I think would be like, when brass rusts and it starts turning that greenish color. That's
Oh, hell yeah.
Some green kind of
highlight
inlay
color,
in
yeah.
there.
I like
Yeah.
that.
you basically built them out of the crane apparatus.
Ooh,
Yeah,
and they
more or less,
called it
yeah.
when brass rusts.
No, that's
no,
a
I
Panic
like it.
song.
No, I like it.
It's called a patina.
Yeah, it's got a lot of patina to it. So, yeah. Hi,
Patina.
mate. Pothole ran into some trouble, but he's alright.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's fine now. Just
Are you okay? Oh, really?
said never better, never
Yeah.
better.
I don't understand you, but I'm just heading it in the general direction. I hope you're doing well, man.
I want to show you something.
Okay, yep.
I remembered that I used to be able to do this.
And he just.
Oh,
he-
jeez.
Yeah, glyphs out a couple of tiny little dainty daggers.
I mean, all I did was save his life. You've got knives coming out of your hands.
Well, I think you've got the balance a little off. You saved his life and put him in a, box. That's pretty amazing.
His is cool too. Shut up.
Y'all wouldn't believe what I've been up to. I killed a monster. monster.
Oh, so that's what you're calling them?
Kind of rude.
What kind of monster?
Yeah, what kind of
Yeah, what'd you kill? I didn't
The
kill
one
nothing.
with teeth, I couldn't be sure.
Hold on. What kind, was it teeth like this? Was it teeth like this?
No, they're bigger than that.
Was it teeth like this?
Bigger still.
Was it teeth like those?
She's silent. That
Never.
means yes.
No, I don't think it was.
Inside check.
Make an inside check.
Yeah, I don't have.
Ah,
to
damn it, natural 1.
Hell yeah.
Plus 0.
Seems on the up and up.
The lion's head on their shoulder for some reason.
I don't have to.
Yeah, she's got a new fur coat, and it's just like lion block.
It's literally the lion said she's just like, I don't know what it was.
Sees them in their periphery and thought it's another Leon. He's like, hello, brother. Oh.
Woof. The lighting in this club is way off.
I think you mean meow. So stupid.
Yeah, they're big cats.
Okay.
So, I guess we've all been called here by,
By me?
Yep.
Yeah, I was tasked with calling you here because of my employer.
Who's that then?
As that happens, you hear the sound of many, many cups landing on the table, and you can see a woman, her gray-brown hair pulled back into a ponytail that kind of goes back and is linked with several kind of like metal, almost like cufflinks all down the back to like the middle of her back. Almost. Her kind of leather and brass armor, kind of like shining. It's simple leather breastplate. There's nothing on her arms, nothing on her legs. But she sets all the mugs down and kind of stands herself up. I did. She walks over and takes a seat. Thank you, Aromir.
Yeah.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Gaelwyn. Gaelwyn Tolliver.
Could just
Wait a minute.
Just for the sake of phonetics, could you spell that for me?
Sure. Her name is Gailwhin. Gaelwyn.
What are the odds that it's spelled like it sounds?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's impossible.
Gailwhin. Gaelwyn.
As she's introducing herself, I like in my periphery just grab one of the tankards and put it in the middle as you know, Pothole is trying to figure out how to pour one in the top. Like, nope, not gonna work that way.
Pothle's like a little kid at the adult table, just like reaching up for it.
So they drop a bunch
You
of
will
You know
need to
what?
figure
I'll
out how to give him ale.
Wait, is it ale?
Is it just like an open top? Can
No,
I
no,
just,
no,
like,
no, it's
dip
not.
one in there?
It's like think like submarine hatch. It's got the
Little spin on, yeah.
Okay. Is there a subtle way to try to like
no,
loosen that with
can't
my
be
fingers?
secretive because it's on the top and it's
I'm gonna
pretty
do it.
It's pretty tight cinch.
Make a slight hand check.
Pressurized so it explodes when you
Just like
I've heard of such a
steam.
thing callld a stroll.
Oh, 21.
21.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a passive? That's 21.
Mine's 15.
12.
And that's high.
I don't have a passive. It's blank.
You slowly open the top and pour a little bit in there and watch as like the clearest liquid immediately becomes brackish, and you watch as it goes and like runs off, realizing it made a terrible mistake.
Little buddy.
I look over. All right, so we're gonna create a list of things we're not gonna do. First thing on the list
Don't
is
tap the glass.
Yeah, mess with Pothole. We're not gonna mess with him.
I don't think I messed with him. I think I.
Well, he's
made him
messed up, so you
better.
messed with him.
He's happier for it. You've been depriving him of.
Hey, quit giving my kid
Does he
drink,
look
okay?
happy?
He
look happy?
ran behind the counter and tripped the bartender, and it's gone. You don't know where it went.
Oh, that's going to be a problem. I did not screw that back on tightly. You might want to get after that.
So I leave the table to go
Okay.
and check on my kid.
Yeah.
Yo, I smell like a whole ass adult, man.
Ooh.
I'm about to put a lock on.
It's
it.
fine. He's fine. It's just not used to
Do you want me to
mixing.
come or shall I stay so I can catch you up?
One of the waitresses walks in back over. Sir, is this your child?
He just mixing life-giving fluid with ale just didn't bode
It's a
well.
horrible idea.
It's not. There's a little bit of a reaction. It's not
I'll
great.
lean down and go,
enhances how fast the ale gets in your
yeah,
system.
brother.
100%. He didn't drink. He just absorbed it. It was great.
Liquid speedball.
And this is a guy who's been used. The the only ale he's gotten ever is whatever is flowing.
Yeah, secondhand runoff.
Yeah.
Secondhand, right.
Swill.
It's
Yeah.
been through a.
It's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Anyhow, as that's all happening, you watch as this lady just watches. And you're sure they'll be able to help?
Yeah, most likely.
Hey, that guy's great, alright? He's never gotten messed up before, and it won't happen again.
I don't know what.
That's new. I've never seen that before.
Very well. It has come to my attention that you are all responsible for saving my family's cargo and for finding the one responsible for its mishap. I am grateful. It's not every day I catch a break like that, especially amongst some of my own. But you'll be happy to know that... Oh crap, I lost his name, hang on.
Poor little witch girl, am I right? Yeah, you don't catch many breaks. Sorry.
Hold on. No, you're good, you're good. I just need to Finlow. Thank you. There it is. You'll be happy to know that Mr. Finlow no longer is employed in our family's house. One less union rep to worry about.
Not a bad idea to me.
Who was Finlow? You guys remember Finlow?
I remember the name.
I don't remember Finlow.
Finlow was the name that Snuff gave to you guys.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, Robinson gave you Finlow.
Wait, isn't that the guy that died?
Henry Fenwell?
No.
No.
No, you killed Johnny and another guy, I can't remember his name.
it's Tommy.
Finlow was the one that hired them to do the job.
Oh, I see.
Which you told the portmaster, which, as Galen is explaining, once the portmaster delivered the news of Mr. Fenlow's activities, we were quick to remove him from our employ. So again, you have my gratitude.
All right, this was a nice reunion then.
I'm not finished.
Oh. I just felt like someone should say something.
He the ear was kind of pregnant.
What?
I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Go on.
I have need for individuals with the experience and the talent to aid me in some of the endeavors while I am here in the Copper Cove. Naomia tells me you all are capable enough.
I raise my hand.
Yes,
Hello, my name's Lucius.
pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. But so you're part of like a high house, right? Like, you know, Tollivers and stuff.
My family is House Tolliver, this
So-
is true.
Okay, so we are indeed very capable. But how do you feel about the M word?
Money.
Magic.
Oh, is it magic?
Yeah.
Oh. I was like,
I take it some of you are not
Mummy.
from the Brasslands.
money.
No, I mean I am, but
Not really sure.
From
we
the
were able to get a
Brasslands.
magic pass.
We are the Brasslands, right? And we do this really cool high five together.
Yeah, the
kind
three
of
of
thing.
us.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I don't even make a roll for it.
Oh yeah,
it's
Alright.
Pothole
super
just
cool.
like
Okay,
puts
roll,
his little
roll.
hand to the glass,
Yeah.
and the,
No, you don't have to roll for it.
we're gonna.
No, you don't have to. You want if you want to roll, we'll roll
We're
performance.
not gonna. Do
No,
it.
yeah,
It wasn't
absolutely,
in
you
the
don't
bar,
have
so
to.
it doesn't
Perfect.
count.
No, absolutely not. It worked great. It was
And
beautiful.
with this high five comes a surge of memories of other magic stuff we can do with our bodies.
And now Pothole has boosters.
Roll 20.
Sorry.
Anyhow, Gaelwyn continues. I would like to hire this lot to assist in some of my external affairs while I continue my work here in the Cove. It pays well and comes with some leniency, knowing that you work for a great house.
Yeah, you hear a couple little bubbles in front behind me. I'm like, that's a great point. On the subject of leniency and money, will there be like notoriety for these conquest jobs, as it were?
You seek fame, then?
I mean, kind of just like a re-established reputation.
That's exactly how I put it.
Seek rapport.
Also, that's another word for what we're looking for.
With you.
I would frankly like to claw back to my previous state of self-assurance and confidence.
What is the nature of these endeavors?
Simple tasks, nothing that mercenaries or adventurers couldn't handle. Things that, unfortunately, are not within my wheelhouse, as it were, being that my orders are very clear. So, I need outside help, and my local security suggested some people such as you. It was mere coincidence that I learned that you were also responsible for the saving of my family's ship, one of them.
I would like to issue my interest in this partnership, but could you answer one thing for us?
Of course.
Why did Henry Fenlow hire the Pinkertons to disrupt your trade?
Do you want my honest answer?
Ideally.
I mean, what a weird question.
Well, to be fair, right? They're like
To be fair.
quarterly.
fair.
To be fair, they have a quarterly. That's not what I'm saying. Like they have a background in courtship and stuff. Like they have to lie to each other all the time.
Are you asking if people? Oh, okay. I thought you said courtship. It's like, are you asking if people are doing it again?
Me? I didn't ask that.
He's never asked that.
Wait, is that a circus thing? You just wake up every morning.
We're crazy in circus.
It's a theater kid thing.
It's a theater kid thing. It's exactly what I was saying.
Who's making out the little theater again?
I get to leave so I can kiss my crush.
It's the light booth, man. You know that's where it's at.
Galen kind of...
Just one of.
I am not fond of the Union. Never have, never will. I fear they hold too much sway over some of the houses. I believe that Mr. Fenlow was not working alone. But call it superstition, for I could never prove it, and Mr. Fenlow has already been reassigned by the Union to another station.
I got a question. So, what is your ranking in House Tolliver?
I am the daughter of one of the dukes of the house. It's more title than anything else. My brother holds a title far beyond mine. My brother is also an imbecile.
Yeah, brothers can be.
They often.
Yeah. Was he like firstborn or something? Or
I mean, men, am I right?
In my immediate family, yes, he is the firstborn. I am third, but that's another story entirely.
Okay.
I have proven myself adept at negotiations.
That's very good. A skill set that's way more applicable as the head of the house, but sadly that's not the case at the moment.
So I've been told.
Shoot.
Also, my family is set in the mindsets that men are far more capable than the women are of doing anything.
Yeah, you're laughing because it's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is so.
My guy, blink.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There are times that our houses should be more like the others, but unfortunately, Tolliver is set in this old way of thinking. Hence the reason I don't have an official title. I work behind the scenes. Currently working on securing more air power for our transportations. I'm sure you know how Stolliver leads the nations currently in imports and exports, but we don't have the ships for it. So I'm working to secure some more of them. Your saving of my ship yesterday was a boon, for I feared it would be lost to us. But
I mean, like, how thankful are you?
Pretty.
thankful enough to hire you to do more work for me.
But not thankful.
Right, to
Alright,
the
well,
point.
Just change, you know what I mean.
You're trying to squeeze more money out of it? Or?
No, man. I mean, like, we did already do some work.
I mean, yeah, but, like, I did out of
I'd like to think of our previous actions, since we were fleeced by someone already, as having already been compensated for, and think of it more as a salesman's sample.
Ooh, true. That's a very
To
good way
the
to think about
point.
it.
What would you have us do?
The first task will be a simple one. Prove you can do this efficiently, and then maybe more work for you.
Alright, well, yeah, it's a simple plan, but what is it?
There are farms outside of the Copper Cove. They supply food and other things for most of the houses. We transport them from the Copper Cove into Udall and other places. I've gotten reports that a grain mill that is owned by House Tolliver has ceased production for the last 3 days. We sent word inquiring as to why it stopped. Have not heard back. Naturally, my brother would leave this to the Sahavis and have them just send their military over there to suss it out and break the fingers of those who would cross our house, but I feel a more subtle touch is what's needed. Go there under the directive and orders of House Tolliver. Ensure that the mill is back up and running, and I can provide you with compensation or anything else you feel you need.
What kind of compensation are we talking here?
Coin, obviously. That seems to be the most universal language of our lands.
Quite. Any specific amount you had in mind?
Of course. I feel an endeavor like this in a group this size, 1,000 gold should be enough.
Each or dispersed?
In total.
Okay. That's
Any
wait,
performance-based incentives here?
Did you get my money back?
Such as?
Because
I don't know.
too close.
I mean, it's your mission.
Oh, really?
Like, do this and I'll pay double.
No doubt.
Don't kill anybody and I'll pay you half.
How much was that? It was like, we got like 100 last time.
I would prefer death to be the last result, being that
That's important to know. You should have led with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important.
these people work for our house, and the more people that die working for House Tolliver, the less likely people are going to work for our house.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
that's why the hobby's a bad idea.
Do you know anything about it? Is it like an insurrection that's happening there, or do you know if something else has been? You have no idea.
We
So
have
if there's
no word.
other things that are like bad forces that are like weaseling their way in, it's okay to kill those, right? Not the people that work there. If they're like, shit, we're done. You know, we'll leave them be.
I leave that to your
Discretion.
Discretion.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's just try to avoid killing innocent farmhands and stuff that.
Well,
think that
I'm
they're entitled to
not
stuff.
trying to do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm
But
just.
know that if you're doing this, you are doing it under the house's name.
Uh-huh.
I'm sticking my neck out, as it were.
It's just like it's the reason we were asking so many questions is because people around here are very order oriented. So
They are.
you need to be very close to the team. I mean, I get the nuances, but I'm not sure about Cold Front or the alcoholic Kobold over there or.
Hold on, I'm just going to cut this off at the pass. He's not an alcoholic. He made a mistake and was enabled by a friend that he thought he had at the end of the table. So, no, he'll be fine. So, one and done. Back on the straight and narrow. Question also in regards to working for your house. Is there some sort of
Spit it out.
clearance? Or like some papers? Something that if someone just gives us some guff, we can say, hold on, we're here with House Tolliver, we've got jurisdiction here to, punch someone in the face if they need it?
The name enough should be applicable in most situations. No one would dare use a house name unless they truly had ties to it.
Wouldn't I have something that could...
You would, yes. You would have a pin. You would have a pin from House Tolliver, which is essentially a shield, the outline of a shield with a large kind of like Old English T, kind of like very very ostentatious design, but a T in the center of this like shield design. But you have it kind of like set on you. So, however, if more proof is required, and she kind of reaches into a pocket and pulls out another one and sets it down, I do have one more. Share it. I don't have enough for all of you, unfortunately.
Right, I'll take it real quick. Take just a minute with some of my tools. Put it on pothole.
That's funny.
Very well.
What is it?
If this if this relationship proves to be a more
Shit on it.
habitual circumstance,
He's not a refrigerator, damn it.
Shut your mouth.
You set a precedent.
Yep.
if this relationship proves to be more habitual, perhaps we can provide you with a more substantial means of clearance. But for now, the name and, she gestures to him, the badge should be enough.
Okay. So which farms are we going to?
Head north outside of the towns, you'll see the largest of the grain mills. And probably the only one that's not working currently.
Okay.
I'm sure if you ask, someone will point you in the direction.
Okay, so real quick clarifier. The mission. Go to the Copper Cove and head north, investigate the grain mill, restore production, and avoid killing if possible.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
For 1,000 gold.
I wrote
I wrote some
that
shit
down.
down.
For 1,000 gold.
For 1,000 gold.
For 3,000 gold.
Head
1, 2, 3, 4,
north to
5,
the
6,
largest
7.
grain mill.
That's pretty good. It's like 111.
Do we have a deal?
Bingo. Yes.
What does
Good.
the second part say? Bike face.
Race.
You can send word to Aramir once you have completed the task. Payment will be remitted to you upon completion. And who knows? Maybe this is the start of something.
For sure. Do you have I'm just curious for future, if I were to have a good relationship with you, would I be able to ask, do you have resources for, forbidden knowledge and stuff? I know there's some stretch. It's just, I really need help.
We've got to look at the restricted section.
Or, I don't know, if you have, a library that, okay.
Lucius,
I don't
not
have one on me.
Wait.
sure that
No,
pertains
Make
to
a persuasion check
Did
for
you
me.
forget which campaign you're
I was
in?
gonna say you're snapping into campaign
Well, you
two.
see my patrons at Wizard, so
So he never strayed too far.
I strayed very far.
Is your patron a very dark-skinned tiefling?
I think so.
No,
I
sadly.
believe it. Yep. 100%.
With a friend that's a pissy little cat?
1,000.
I did not say that.
All on it.
Put in it.
Hey, if I'm pissy, it's because y'all made me that way.
What the heck? You sound like me!
Where are you from, cat?
17 plus 5.
Ooh.
17.
22. Does that pass? Because I can use my amulet right now.
You smug little sack.
Wow.
Total, what'd you say?
22.
22 total? That's
What's in
very
the
good.
omelet? All right.
What's the only thing I can use it for?
That's true.
I can't use it in
true.
combat.
That's
Act
true.
of the omelette du fromage.
Ooh, I love
You
it.
see Galen kind of looking at you. I'll tell you what. Prove to me that you are beneficial. And perhaps one day I'll invite you to our personal archives at Mecha City.
At Mecha City? Okay.
Is that M-E-C-H-A?
Nope.
Damn it.
M-E-K-A.
I was hoping it was like Mech, a city.
That would be
About to
cool.
upgrade pothole real fast.
Turn them into bigger pots.
But let's not
It'll
get
be a
ahead of
manhole
ourselves.
next.
Yeah.
You have a grain mill to restart, and I have more business to attend to.
Do we have a last thing? I know you're about to leave. Do you have arranged passage to the Copper Cove, or are we gonna just hoof it?
You are in the Copper Cove.
Nailed it. Thank you. Question answered.
The farmlands should be no more than half day's walk outside of the city.
Let's go.
On it.
Let's go.
It does make one wonder why she didn't just go check it out herself, though.
Good to go.
Well, they told you why they didn't check it out themselves.
Is it more?
4-hour walk. That means it's
I
like
think
1
it's
hour
more
ride on a
dangerous
horse.
than she's letting on.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Ooh, we're about to fight. We're about to Luigi's mansion.
Oh, 20, baby!
Oh, he's gonna text her.
Insight plus 3.
It's 23.
That's a nat 20. Those are...
Raisin.
every once in a while I'll ask for the total, but I feel like a nat 20 should be
We're
like...
not fighting like a legendary monster right
there's,
now.
there's, for the most part,
Supposed to be
nat
more.
20s are going to be pretty
Oh,
good.
we're gonna fight a death tyrant. Oh wait, no, this isn't a Will Moon campaign. We would fight that at level.
I'll text you in a second. But as she stands, she kind of looks at all of you. Good luck.
We'd be level 2.
Romeo, we have more business.
Yeah.
And she kind of walks away. So if there's anything you want to do beforehand, unless
I'm
you just want
definitely
to
going
follow
to
her.
check and see if Aramir's teeth are about the size of the one that I have kind of tucked up away right now. Are they the same size?
His are bigger.
Damn!
His incisors are larger.
All right, okay. All right, I feel good
I'm
about
a
this.
standing lion.
So the lion you killed was not like a large one by any means. It was a smaller size, like
Yeah,
a medium-sized
I know.
creature.
I just don't know how his kind comes about. So, like, was it his uncle? I don't.
You're a monster slayer. You would know it's not the same.
Yeah, but
thing.
I ain't that damn clever. I'm still pretty young. I'm learning.
I would
She's
give
new
you
to this whole
that.
monster
I would give you
slaying
that
game.
one.
All right.
You think it's a larval stage.
I'm not that
Ew.
Them.
At one point, like tadpoles, they just grow like little
This
mini
message me
arms.
this way.
Using the same logic, you also don't believe he's...
I mean, yeah, you
anymore.
could. Yeah,
Yeah,
they just know to contact you because
Yeah, he
you're
only
the
has
middle
7
guy.
days to live
So.
before he.
But Arumir follows
Only
her,
had 100 years.
and you guys are given,
Pick up my mole.
given the directive to
Nice.
head off
Yeah.
to a new job
Let's go.
opportunity. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Pick up in
And pick up
2022.
next year in 2022 when we figure out what happens next. Yeah, this next thing's gonna take a minute, so I don't want to roll us into the initiative end of the night. So thank you guys for playing, and thank you guys for listening.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you all next time on the Wild Magic School Bus.
We're
Good night.
super fashion, bye.
Hard cut.
Thanks for listening to the Wild Magic School Bus. I hope you had as much fun listening as we did making this for you. You can catch new episodes each Monday on whatever podcasting platform you use. And while you're there, leave us a review if you want. It actually helps us out. We've got socials too. You can follow us on Reddit at r/WildMagicSchoolBus, send us a subtweet at WildMagicSchoolBusPod, or follow our Instagram at WildMagicPod. Either way, stop by and say hi. We're always happy to meet new friends. See you next time. Give me one moment as Will dies.
We broke Will with 3 L's.
Well, you're
Well,
coughing. Would you
well-
like a handful of dry nuts?
Ask Kelsey the same question all the time.
How would you know what? It's fine.
Like laughing.
Sorry. Sorry. Wow.
My wife does not deserve any of this.
Like,
You do not deserve
Which
your
one?
wife.
She could have married a lawyer, dude.
Thank goodness for baggage, right?
Jeez, Lord.
That is.
Wow.
That is something. That is something. Shit. Okay.
I didn't expect you to say something so truthful, you know?
That's my thing.